I thought I'd do a quick video, well, hopefully quick, I'll try not to go on for too long, about chewing and swallowing items in puppies and adult dogs. It's an extremely serious problem because if your dog swallows something they shouldn't, there's a chance it could result in a blockage, which is an expensive trip to the vets, a dangerous operation for them, and I have known a few dogs that it results in death. So it's extremely serious and something that needs to be addressed straight away. Even if you've been lucky in the past and had socks and items that have passed through your dog, there's no guarantee this is going to happen with the next one. So it needs to be sorted straight away. There's many different reasons why dogs chew. It comes naturally to puppies, but it's something adult dogs enjoy doing as well. Chewing is a naturally relaxing activity for them. It reduces stress and anxiety, and for puppies it can help with pain such as teething issues. It's a bit like you sitting down chilling in front of the television in the evening. It's something that's quite nice to do. Puppies do naturally explore the world with their mouths, a bit like a toddler, so they like to check everything out. Now, one of the main reasons I found that a lot of puppies will try and chew and swallow items that they're not allowed and end up targeting a particular item, so like socks or books, is because of the reaction they get from you. They pick up a natural chew toy and everybody goes, puppy's behaving, and carries on with what they're doing. Yet when they pick up a sock, everybody suddenly jumps into action, concerned that the puppy's going to swallow the sock, and the puppy gets this wonderful game with everybody running around playing chase. A brilliant way of getting a game, especially if your humans are busy. So it is kind of a guaranteed way of getting them to play with you. So what we need to do is set up some management techniques. These mean that your dog will no longer have access to the item that they're swallowing. It's a quick fix, it happens instantly. It's a way of you guaranteeing that your dog will never swallow another sock again. Now, I'm going to use socks as an example because they're one of the most common items that come up. I think a lot of this is because they smell of you and they're naturally reassuring for your dog. But of course, dogs do target other items as well, including things like dishcloths, Lego, books. So swap the items in for whatever it is that your dog is targeting. It's not exclusively for socks. So what we're going to do with management is make sure that your dog and the item don't have contact again. Now there's two ways of doing this. One is to remove the item. So this might be having laundry baskets with lids so that your dog can't get socks straight out of there. Plastic storage boxes are great as well because you can put items inside them and then use the lid so your dog can't have access. If your item is socks, it might be that you have a plastic storage box in the bathroom, so you put socks and things in there, and then they can then be moved onto the laundry basket. It means there's no way your dog can get hold of a sock. Now, the other way of stopping your dog having access to the items is to prevent them by keeping your dog contained. So this might be using a crate or a playpen in which you can put them when you can't supervise access. Muzzles are also a great idea for dogs that swallow items. Now, I know muzzles have a really bad press, but they can literally be a life-saving device in this instant. Now, I like something called a basket muzzle, which is what this one is. The idea is your dog puts their head in here, this bit goes up behind their ears, and your dog can still open and shut their mouth, they can drink, they can breathe, they can pant. So it's not actually preventing them doing any of their natural behaviours, apart from they cannot pick things up. Now, the way you'd introduce one of these is you'd open up the back, you'd put nice tasty treats either inside it or feed them through the end, so that your dog wants to put their head into there. Almost think of this as a bit like a food bowl for a few days. Think about how excited your dog gets when they see their food bowl. Once your dog is quite happy putting their nose in, then over time you're going to then do it up behind their ears. You want a muzzle to be a good thing, not a thing of punishment. And if you just stick the muzzle on and expect them to get on with it, they're going to absolutely hate it. So a muzzle is a great way of kind of keeping your dog away from those items. If you can't either keep the items away, so I say plastic storage boxes, or just prevent access, or keep your dog in a separate area where they can't get access to the items, such as a crate, playpen or utility room. Stair gates are great for that as well. I'd also be having a very strict word with everybody in the household and make sure that they understand the seriousness of the issue. Literally, it's life or death if your dog picks up another sock and swallows it again. So I'd be making sure everybody understood how serious it actually was. Another thing that's really important is to make sure your dog does have lots of safe things that they can chew on. Go to your local pet shop and there is lots and lots of options there. Think about the different textures. So if you've got a dog that's particularly targeting crunchy items, like when Siri was a puppy, he used to like to eat snails, I used to then give him eggshells to play with. Eggshells are completely safe for your puppy to chew and consume. If your puppy's looking for kind of softer items, it may be softer puppy-proof toys that you're looking for. But it's thinking about having so that you've got that outlet for chewing, because as we discussed earlier, chewing is very important for dogs and is a way of relaxing and chilling. Now, your dog is never ever going to pick up a sock again because they're simply not going to have access to them. But in the long run, this may not be physically possible. So you want to introduce a bit of training. Now what I would do is have the item, so be it a sock, and place a tennis ball in the end of the sock and then do a nice big knot in the end of it. This is assuming that your dog cannot swallow a tennis ball. Think they can, you may need to change that in or adapt your item. I would then place the sock with the tennis ball in it on the floor in a room where my dog was. I wouldn't make any fuss about it and I'd actually actively encourage my dog to ignore it. Maybe I'd give them another activity to do, so it could be that they're eating their dinner or they've got an interactive feeder or we're doing a bit of training. The sock is just there and it is going to be completely ignored. But your dog is going to be kept busy, so they hardly even notice the sock. Certainly do not make a big deal of it. If they do get hold of it, you know the item is safe because it's got that tennis ball in it, so you can just totally ignore your dog for having it. A sock on its own with no reaction from the human is actually going to end up being quite boring. So most dogs will learn that actually it's no fun anymore. But this needs to be done carefully and supervised. Over lots of sessions, you should find that your dog no longer has interest in the sock at all. Only at this point can you then decide to take the tennis ball out of it and, if necessary, mean they have access again to the item just round the house. But you need to be absolutely certain that they're not going to swallow it. So I'll be doing lots and lots of training practice, just having items there in the background that have been made safe, but they're available to them and they can see them there. If you think your dog has swallowed something at any point, it's extremely important you speak to your vet immediately. Depending on what the item is, your vet can make your dog sick, so they throw the item up. It's not very nice, but it prevents it from getting into the intestines where it could get stuck. If it's been too late and it's already gone into their system, or you're just not quite sure at all, I would be monitoring what goes into my dog and what comes out. If my dog shows any sign of being unwell, or they're being sick, or they're unable to go for a poo, then again I would get my dog to the vet straight away, because this is all signs that there could be a blockage there. If in doubt, consult your vet. They are the experts. Right, well, I hope you found this video useful. As I said, it's an extremely serious issue and not something that you can just ignore or just hope they will grow out of it, because some dogs will go on and still do this in adulthood if the problem isn't addressed. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can either go to the Dog Owner Training School Facebook page, website, or you can send me a direct email. Thank you.